more time. Who are you?
Tony Reed.
What do you do?
I play a bit of a guitar and sing.
What band are you in?
At Mos Generator.
Where are you from?
Port Orchard, Washington.
Ah.
Just
right
west of Seattle.
Cool. So you're embarking on a how many day tour?
25, I believe.
25 all over. Where are you going?
All the way to the east and back. In the U.S., that is.
And
this time.
Who are you supporting?
We are...
Or who's supporting you, I should
Year
say.
Of The Cobra.
Right on.
Another Seattle fine band.
Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do when you're not making rock and roll and your band?
I make rock and roll daily. I mix records and master for a living.
What's the name of your studio?
Heavy Head Recording Company.
Right on.
So that's what I do daily.
Yeah.
It's kind of what. So I listen to rock music, loud rock music every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What inspired you to become a musician?
Kiss, Rush, and Black Sabbath. Probably the three.
Like, what was your moment? Like, you were like, how did you get into? Like, how did you come across Kiss?
Okay. My cousin had a cassette he brought up when I think I was 9. I was always interested in music, but when he put on Kiss Alive 1 on cassette, no cover, I did not see what they looked like, and I was like, what's going on here? This is awesome. So at that point, I realized that this could be something I'm really interested in, and it took a few years to get started because I didn't have a guitar or anything. And I was about 12 or 13 when I got my first guitar. And then from then on, I just kind of kept that foundation, Kiss, Rush, Sabbath, kind of the new wave of British heavy metal, and just general heavy rock, that kind of stuff has been a part of me since I was a kid.
What do you, what kind of non-typical, what's your guilty pleasure? What do you, are you a Lady Gaga fan?
Absolutely. No, not really. I try to listen to that stuff and go, what can I find in this that's worth something? But I might go like, Sade or something like that. It would be generally something older, ABBA, or I like a lot of soft rock from the 70s because that, in contrast to the night, I listen to a lot of Joni Mitchell on tour too because it's a contrast to the mania that happens when you're on the road.
Right.
So
I appreciate anybody who listens to singer-songwriter stuff. You can write a great rock and roll song if you have a story to tell.
Sure. Absolutely. And it can, no matter, a good song can be done in whatever style.
Go ahead.
Just if you write a good song, you can play it in any way.
Right.
And it's a great tune.
Yeah, that's true. Look at Johnny Cash covering 9 Inch Nails' "Hurt." It's like epic. To the point where Trent Reznor's like, this is not my song anymore.
Exactly. Well, that's
it's
like
a Johnny Cash song.
Sure, and that's like All Along the Watchtower.
Oh
Hendrix,
yeah.
Dylan's is okay, but Hendrix is fucking mind blowing.
I saw Dylan play that, and it'd been like the first time he played it in 70 years or some shit like that. It was good. I was like, oh, all right. He hasn't played this, I don't think, in a long time, but I could be wrong.
Maybe it was because of Hendrix. I'm sure it was.
Yeah. So, what do you like? What do you love about rock and roll? Like, why do you do it? Obviously, it doesn't always pay the bills. It can, but it's been a struggle, for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm an old man.
Yeah.
Basically, and I've been doing this a lot of years, and there's something, of course, in musicians, there's something inside that you can't explain a lot of the time. There's also something that you can't stop. So it's really difficult to explain. And for me it is. I just know that it's a passion that I've dedicated my life to, whether it be mixing bands or making my own records or doing my own projects for me.
Right.
Me is first.
Right.
And if anybody else enjoys it, then that's good as well.
Yeah.
But it's kind of unexplainable in some ways. Each musician will have a different take on that.
Right. What music have you listened to lately? What albums or bands that you really been like, holy shit, this is some
Actually, I've been in a weird Joe Walsh trip. Like, I've been tripping on those records and how pop they are. You figure you take him for Funk 49 or The Bomber, or you take it for Rocky Mountain Way, but then you really listen to those solo albums, and they're really pop. They're pop heavy records. Like, they're great, really cool shit. Like, and I like a lot of pop, like power pop, actually. So I feel like in our music, I try to keep it heavy, but there's also
I listened
hooks.
to it today. I was like, this is hooky. This is the stuff that was like I miss about that a lot of bands don't do that the grunge bands were doing. They were hooking. They were and like you haven't heard it for a few years. Now it's back. You know.
Sure. You gotta have the hooks. You gotta be a songwriter. I mean, songs are key to anything. Riffs are cool. Songs are songs with killer riffs are the ultimate, you know, and that would be for me would be Sabbath in certain eras where it's like you know they make music that I'd strive. There's some eras of Sabbath that I'll never be able to come close to, but they are my pinnacle of like if I'm going to make hard rock and heavy rock music. Yeah. They've made some songs that are what I look at as the benchmark of all.
What's your favorite Sabbath tune?
Killing Yourself to Live. It has all the elements of Sabbath,
and it's poppy. It's got a little pop to it,
and it's got just beautiful stuff. I won't go into it. I get really tripped out on it. I love it so much. You know?
Yeah. What's your favorite album of all time out of any band? I mean,
that's an unanswerable question.
Yeah.
Because you know, there's just so many elements. I have a list of the greatest records ever made. And it's a super long one. Like, you know, and there's some surprising stuff because I gauge it by is the whole album good?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, it's not like okay, this has got some of my favorite songs. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Can I listen to this record all the way through?
Axis Bold as Love for me, front to back. Life-changing album.
Absolutely. And there's a couple of weird records.
Funhouse, of course.
And I would go with some which like Susie and the Banshees' Tinderbox is one of my favorite records. You know, like so I went through that as a youth. I went through a goth period, and I'm starting to add that into the music.
Jet Black Tony.
I did have some jet black hair and some you know whatever that kind of shit. Bauhaus type Christian Death. I love completely. But now I'm starting
the Devil Lock.
All that too. Yes, the Misfits, Danzig, all the Sam Hain, all that stuff.
Chill.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Wow. So the current state of rock and roll, how do you feel about it? You think there's something happening, or you think it's just always happening?
It's obviously happening. It's because there's so many bands doing it. The fact that we can tour in the United States successfully for 25 shows, which is a fairly short run. It's
people are willing to pay again. Especially in the Midwest.
It's really, and that's cool because we've been together since 2000, so we've seen the trend go up and down, and we've just kind of stayed as it goes like this, and now it's at like the highest point that I've ever seen. So that allows us to go out and ride that same wave, and hopefully be somewhat successful. You never know. Like you just go out there and give your all, and hopefully you're cool enough to be a part of it. You know?
Just buy some merch, kids. Buy a little merch for Dad, huh?
What? Dad needs.
It's Father's Day coming up. Buy a little merch for Dad.
Money, man. Like,
speaking of that,
gas
Father's
money.
Day.
Father's Day.
Father's Day is Sunday. Get a card.
Right. And then my kid will call me and maybe.
How old's your kid?
21.
Whoa!
He's
drinking with Pop.
He's 22 actually. Yeah, I went drinking with him.
What band's he in?
It's a band called Vessels. So they're like a kind of a hardcore.
They have a screamer singer, right?
He's the singer. But he likes melody, so he learns stuff from me. Like he'll message me, Dad, I've been listening to this Van Halen shit. I remember when he used to play this in the truck, dude. Like, I'm loving it now. Like, I'm cool, you know, or whatever.
So
Thin Lizzy, he loves Thin Lizzy, and so hopefully the things that we listen to is when he was young, they're starting to creep into what he's doing, and so maybe he can mesh that in.
Maybe he can start a sludge band.
Whatever he wants. I mean, he's an amazing musician and a touring musician.
Oh, nice.
So that's plus.
Important. 22. Yeah. You're like, well, you know, so much for. I mean, you taught him. You were college professor, you know,
somewhat
in a weird way, you know, like. You set him right. That's like your, you know, apprentice, like, you know, going into the family business, you know.
Sure, I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
He's doing great. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you ready to rock out tonight?
Yeah. It'll be the first night of the tour, and it's odd because our drummer lives in Texas, so we practiced today, first time in 4 months.
Where'd you practice?
At my house.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, we're playing a bunch of songs we've never played. We just work on them at home, and then we get together and practice them once.
Okay, so you practiced on your own, but you haven't practiced together.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So tonight you will be seeing us
That's
Trial by
interesting, though.
Fire.